All right, let's dive into Robert Swindells' absolutely chilling novel, Brother in the Land. We're going to break down the first act and really look at how a regular town starts to fall apart, showing all the cracks in society before a single bomb even drops. Right out of the gate, the author hits us with this. We're told straight up that our narrator, Danny, does not have a happy story to tell. So it's not a question of if something terrible is going to happen, it's just a matter of when. You can feel this sense of dread just hanging over every single page from the start. So let's set the scene. We're in the town of Skippley. It seems totally normal. We start in the Lodge family's general store, and on the surface, it's just business as usual. But if you look a little closer, the cracks are already starting to show. And this is where things get really interesting. You've got this wild disconnect going on. The government is on the one hand saying, hey, you should probably stock up on supplies, which is a pretty serious warning, right? But at the same time, the official message is, don't panic, stay calm. It creates this immediate sense of anxiety. I mean, who are you supposed to believe? And check this out. This really breaks down that tension for us. Look at what people are saying versus what they're actually doing. In public, Danny's mom, Mary, is telling her friend, oh, don't worry, there will be no bombing. But in reality, prices are through the roof because everyone is secretly panic buying. Even the lodges are squirreling away supplies for themselves. It's the ultimate do as I say, not as I do. And make no mistake, this isn't about community spirit or neighbors helping neighbors. No way. It's about something way darker. Before anything has even happened, the whole town has basically adopted the survival of the fittest mentality. It's not about community anymore. It's about making sure your family has more than the next guy. The whole idea of society is already starting to fray at the edges. Okay, so while the adults are secretly hoarding cans of soup, let's head over to the local school. Because the kids, they're on a completely different planet. They're not hoarding, they're in total, absolute denial.
So get this, there's a school assembly where the PE teacher, of all people, is giving a presentation that sounds like it's straight out of a Cold War nightmare. He's talking about surviving a nuclear attack, what the sirens mean, how to deal with radiation sickness. I mean, look at this list. This is some of the most serious, grim stuff you could ever imagine.
And what's the reaction from the students to this life or death briefing? They laugh. They make fun of him. They treat the entire thing like it's a massive joke. To them, this is the kind of thing that only happens in movies, not in their little town. The threat is just so huge, so unimaginable, that it doesn't even feel real. And this really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? When you're faced with something so completely overwhelming, so horrifying, sometimes the easiest way for your brain to cope is to just pretend it's not happening, to just laugh it off. It's a very human reaction, but man, is it a dangerous one. And this just drives that point home. What happens right after this terrifying assembly about the end of the world? Life just goes on. Sophie invites Danny to a birthday party. It's just amazing how the normal, everyday concerns of being a teenager can completely overshadow this massive, abstract threat of nuclear war. Okay, but while the teens are worried about parties, something much darker is happening behind the scenes. Remember those whispers in the shop about Kershaw's farm? Well, it's time to find out what that was really all about. Yup, the rumors, they were 100% true. While pretty much everyone else was either in denial or quietly panicking, a very select group of people knew exactly how bad things were about to get, and they were getting ready, in secret. A so-called civil defense team, the CDS, had been formed. But just look at their game plan. This has nothing to do with defending the town. It has everything to do with saving themselves. They're secretly stockpiling supplies and practicing drills, all while making sure the rest of the town has no idea what's happening. And this quote right here, it just hits you in the gut. It's the whole story, really. The secrecy says it all. This isn't a rescue plan for the community. It's a lifeboat for a chosen few. They have already written off everybody else. It's the ultimate betrayal. And that brings us right to the final terrifying moments of Act 1. This is the point of no return, the moment where all the denial, all the hoarding, all the secret plans, well, none of it matters anymore. So picture this. The secret CDS group is tucked away at Kershaw's farm. They're in the middle of a lecture on how to survive radiation. Completely cut off from the outside world, totally wrapped up in their own private survival club. And then, bam, the lights go out. A total blackout. In one simple, terrifying second, the normal world is just over. And then comes the sound. The one sound everyone was secretly dreading but never truly believed they'd hear. A siren starts to wail. This is not a drill. It is not a joke from a school assembly. It's real. The bombs are coming. The nightmare they refuse to believe in is now their reality.
And that's where Act 1 leaves us, standing on the edge of a cliff, staring into a brand new world where none of the old rules apply. And it forces us to ask the biggest question in the whole story, the one that's right there in the title. When everything falls apart, what does it really mean to be a brother?